Welcome to the Ray Bros Nerd Show. I'm your host, Jonathan. No Mr. Zach today. Got some sicknesses going on, and so we avoid each other when that thing is happening. Cause I like to live in a bubble. No, that's not true. But I just wanted to give you guys something to look at today. So I'm going to be doing a quick review of Resident Evil 7. I'm going to try to keep this as spoiler-free as possible. I'm just going to show you some gameplay mechanics, how to combine certain items, and basically talk about the bakers in Resident Evil 7. First, I'd like to do is kind of get the negative stuff out of the way. To me, this is definitely not a perfect game, but it's my favorite Resident Evil I've played by far. So, obviously, I'm out of space, and this is where I kind of come up with one of my negatives on this game. So I don't mind that you can only store a certain amount of items. Like right now I put the game on beginning mode because I already beat it. That's how I got this weapon right here, the Albert 1R. But I have no problem with item management. The problem I have, and I'm going to give you an example, is this. So right now I have 10 rounds plus 11 extra, right? So let's say I have 0, for example, and let's say this is ammunition. Even if my storage is full, I can't pick up that ammunition when it would be 0. So in real life, or every time I've played with a firearm or used a firearm for the military, if I need 10 rounds, I can just put the 10 rounds directly through the clip or magazine, or if it's a shotgun, put it directly inside of the shotgun. But this game literally makes you drop an item. So I'm not going to drop one here because I kind of need everything. Well, so drop an item for you to have storage space to pick something up. So that's kind of a gripe for me. So I don't mind only being able to hold a certain amount of items. You can get something along throughout the game to help increase the amount of items you carry. But at the same time, it's just annoying to think when in real life you could just add 10 more rounds directly to the gun itself and not so much worry about dropping something. So these antique coins, they're actually worthwhile to collect, and if you find them all, it goes to a specific item later in the game. And these are kind of tokens to unlock certain things like steroids, serums, stuff like that. All that it does is increase your health. If you see on my left hand, I kind of got a stitching thing going on. I'm not going to tell you how or why that is, but it's kind of intense at the very beginning. But as you can see, my health meter right there is on this little watch thing that I have. And it's cool to keep track of throughout the game. The best way to do is just pull up the menu, or you can see it when you're playing, doing things like this or whatever. It's green. Or if you do get hurt, there's blood splashes on the screen itself, which can be an annoying thing. Monica, when she saw me playing, she's like, "How do you see anything with the blood?" Because when I first played this game, I put it on the normal darkness. Right now, I actually had the brightness turned up really high because since I already beat the game technically, which it took me a total of 10 hours and 30 minutes, which from the reviews I've been watching is kind of average or on average of the gameplay, which is funny because one of the trophies is beat the game in under 4 hours, and I was just like, holy crap. I'm like, just to think that's possible is weird to me. So, alright, I'm gonna pick up this tape and we can watch it together. And then, well, first I'm going to combine an item. But anyways, so there's a trophy, you beat this game under 4 hours, which I think is kind of nuts to think that you can technically beat this game. Another gripe that I kind of have is the loading times. So I might try to show you that here soon. I'm going to combine this item so I'll have one thing extra. They make it fairly simple for this. Right now I can only get a small first aid kit. Later you might be able to get a larger one. You can get a larger one. It's not that much of a secret, a spoiler, or anything crazy like that. And different types of ammunition. I'm not going to go too far into that. Or gunpowder. And depending on the chemical fluid, because there's different chemical fluids throughout the game, you can make different combinations with items that you have in your inventory. So now I have an empty slot to use. Mia. So this might have a little bit of spoilers, but it's at the beginning of the game, so it shouldn't be too bad. So here we go. We're going to watch it, and maybe this will show some of the load times involved, but it kind of takes you out of the game a little bit, like de-immersifies you, or whatever the terminology is for it. Like, one time I was sitting here and I had the volume up, of course, and when you're watching a VHS, it gives out this like beep kind of thing, like it's loading or whatever. And it's fine. It's fine at first, but when you're waiting for like a 3 minute load time or whatever, it seems like it's probably not 3 minutes, but excuse me, with games nowadays, it seems like it's forever. So if you see at the bottom right hand corner of the screen, there's like a reel loading. Sometimes that could be really long. So I put the subtitles. I didn't really turn up the volume too much because I don't want it to get kicked off or whatever they do. So that was kind of like my 3 negatives. I think I said all three. I took notes this time so I don't mess myself up. So the storage, like I said, like if you have a full inventory but like no rounds, you can't just pick up the lounge or pick up the ammunition and put it in your weapon. You have to drop something, and usually that's a discard, so it's like you can't just pick it back up once you get the ammunition, so that's annoying. The loading times, and then some of the the third thing was the facial capture. So as you saw right there, it didn't look too bad. It's not horrible, and I can't do better myself, so I was like kind of worried about even complaining about it or whatnot. So we're actually about to meet Marguerite Baker. I think that's how Margaret or Baker or however we pronounce her name in the game. jerk ass door. Well, anyways, what I was saying for the facial capture, it's like off a little bit. It's kind of strange in a way. Like when somebody's like talking, it feels like they're like really enunciating like what they're saying through their mouths. It's strange. So like practice it at home, but like if you say elephant, like it feels like it's only 2 or 3 like muscle movements, but in the game itself it's like 10 just to say the word elephant. It's so weird. Oh yeah, and sorry about the swear words. Yep. So you're supposed to avoid this girl. She gonna try to chase me. Oh, yep, that's not good. That's not good. Yeah, I failed. That's so funny because I didn't do that the first time I played the game, so I kind of just jacked that up. But overall, the story makes sense. It doesn't get too far into the whole Resident Evil lore. Like, you can start by playing Resident Evil 7. This can be your starting point into the Resident Evil franchise, I believe. Graphics, it's for what it is. I think it looks great. There's some parts that's like, I don't know, hit or miss, but that's obviously forgivable and stuff like that. I'm just so happy of all the anticipation I built up for this game. Okay, here we go. We're gonna actually get this to work here. Here we go. So we're gonna hide. She's gonna go in that room. Hopefully. Should be right. Or turn around and do whatever she... Oh god. If I fail twice, I'm gonna... This is a gift. But anyways, so I absolutely love this game. If I had to give it a numerical rating, which I typically don't like to do, because like sometimes a numerical rating can like be like so askewed. Like, for example, when I play Call of Duty, I might say like that's a 7, but that's like a wartime game. This is like a horror action game in between. It becomes more action near like the end of the game, and it has some puzzle solving involved in it as well, of course. So she's searching for me right now. I guess I would give it like a 8 out of 10, which I feel is pretty good and pretty fair with all the negatives that I had. So, at the beginning of the game, you are trying to find your wife. A lot of people were wondering wife or girlfriend, but at the beginning of the game, he kind of says wife. So I'm kind of sticking with that. I'm pretty sure it's his wife. And you get a letter from her, basically asking you to come to this house to find her. She's been missing for a while or whatever. That's not too many spoilers. That's kind of like the beginning story or whatever. I just want to give you a quick backstory. Hiding from this lady. But yeah, this game has made me jump quite a bit beyond like the set piece jump scares. There's this like one part where like I think Monica more or less laughed at me because I was like, oh my god, like this like creature. I won't say what kind of creature. Basically, just like tore into me, and there was nothing I could do about it because I had like no ammunition. I had my knife. And I guess that's one question my brother asked of me. Sorry, I'm kind of just sitting here. I have to wait for her to go away so I can do this stupid puzzle or whatever. But which is funny because that sounds like I'm complaining about the game. But you're never hopeless against an enemy. You can't just outright kill an enemy whenever you want. So here we go. I'm going to do spider puzzle. There you go. That was quick. You can't just outright kill certain enemies. So if it's a boss enemy or one that you know is like more part of the family, you do kill them, but like they take a few hits, and it's a battle, but it makes sense. It's not like you're fighting them just because for the sake of fighting them. Like everything's explained, so you don't feel like you're just doing hit after hit and just wasting your time. You know, that would be annoying to me too. Like what I was telling my brother or what we were talking about before is like Outlast, like that game is kind of like not fun because you can't attack the enemies at all. You know what I mean? Like it gives you no. So here she is again. It gives you nothing to defend yourself, but in this game you get a pocket knife with your main character, and then you can unlock weapons. The best weapon on the game, whether they meant it to attend that way or not, is the shotgun. Like, you do get a shotgun, obviously, in this game. You get other weapons that you can use, but it just doesn't have the same impact as the shotgun does. Like, I guess that would be another thing about the games. Like, the handgun works fairly well, but whatever you do, get the shotgun and get as much ammo as you can. Sorry about all the swear words and stuff if you're watching those kids or whatever. Because that will kill things the easiest. I know it's a part of something. Oh yeah, here we go. So there's the daughter with you, Mia. So that's good. Oh, shoot. Even with my oh god. Yep, trying to escape. Ethan. I mean, at what point as Ethan do you feel like there's plenty of fish in the sea, so like it's not worth it? Like that's the one thing I thought about when I was playing this game. I was like, I mean, I'm sure she's good at what she does, but she can't be that good. Like creepy house good. Like whenever I go to scary houses or something, I always tell Monica, I'm like, if you fall or something, I'm not coming back. You're on your own. I know that sounds crappy, but I mean that's just the truth. I ain't fighting no ghosts. Hell no. That's what the Ghostbusters are for. Call up. Say, here we go. Look at the loading time. I wish if you were watching this, you should time it out to see how long it is. And think during this time, you might hear it a little bit, but there's an audio clip just going beep. So like me being a vet, all I hear. Oh, see, look, that's the loading thing that I was talking about. That little string at the bottom. Yeah. Anyways. But the gameplay's fun. It's simple. The story makes sense, which is important. You're never totally hopeless. You feel hopeless because it makes you manage certain things, which it's like a pro and a con, which is weird to say. It's like I like it saying I can only carry 8 things because it makes sense. You're only one person, obviously. What did you do to Mia? Um, the protagonist, like, he's relatable in a way. You know, you care about your family member or whatnot. So I gotta get the Scorpion King. And the funny thing is like I'm supposed to be eluding one of the bakers, but he's like not showing up, which is so funny. Because I wanted to show you like kind of what he does, like action wise, but here's little stories that you can read. I'm gonna click out of it. You can pause the video and read it if you want to. I'm trying to do this as best as possible without having any spoilers involved in it, which is not very easy. And there's a dog head. I'm gonna go downstairs and install that in. You gotta be ever vigilant of Jack. No, not Jack Nicholson, even though technically he acts like one. So I think in a week or so, or next time we do a podcast, I do the podcast with my brother, I'm gonna do more of a spoiler type review or spoiler type talk about Resident Evil 7, because there's certain characters that relate to certain pieces of different films and stuff like that, and I want to talk about it because it's so cool. Like, for example, like Jack reminds me a lot of, you know, a certain character from a horror movie, and I want to talk about that, but that's like giving something away or whatever. So we got to find an eagle, so it's another puzzle piece or not, whatever. So here's the gun I unlocked from beating it. I'm going to get rid of that so you don't look at it. And other things like that. So, like I said, this definitely was not a waste of purchase. And it might seem like it was because 10 hours for a $60 game, like, some people might think, like, oh my god, like, that's a ripoff, you know, because paying $60, you're only getting 10 hours of entertainment. But for me, this game's going to provide more than the 10 hours. One, me sharing it with you guys that might be interested in this type of game or whatever. And two, I put it on easy, like I said. There's a key here, or something. I forgot what I'm supposed to do here. Anyways, the puzzle pieces are in here somewhere. Something. It's so funny, like, now that I have time to relax, like, my brain doesn't work the same, like, as it does, like, under pressure. It's so weird. I put this on easy so I can do all the unlockables, because there's a lot of stuff I missed playing it in the normal mode or whatever. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to go to this bathroom. I forgot about that. This is where Jack should show up when I exit this room. I forgot about this. So look at all this nasty stuff. There's the statue. I gotta get rid of something. I'll just combine that. There we go. Nope, I still don't have room. I'm just gonna... There's certain things you can't get rid of, so I'm just gonna get rid of the fourth. I put it on easy so it has like a shit ton of health. There's a statue where I can make the bad. Anyways, I lost my train of thought. Oh, so this game's gonna give me beyond the 20 hours or the 10 hours of entertainment that I already have out of it. And the funny thing is, here's Jack. He's looking nasty. That's foul. That is foul. And I'm just gonna leave. See, it's a situation like this where you just run your ass off. Like, you don't even fight him. It's a fight or flight type game, and there's certain times where you have to fight, and certain times where you just get the hell out of there. I would look behind me because he's probably still there. No, see, I escaped his clutches. Here we go. Solve the eagle. Oh god, I'm messing this up royally. Here we go. There we go. So see how quick that was. I kind of remember certain things, and certain things I forgot because I just got finished playing the game. So I think we're kind of getting into an area that becomes a little spoiler-ish, and I don't want to dive too far into it. I just wanted to give you guys my thoughts, give you guys something to listen to and watch since we can't do a full podcast, but my brother and I are trying to schedule one as soon as possible because we got a lot to say. Like, I'll probably talk about Resident Evil 7 again when I get to see him. He's played in Yakuza 0, which I want to play so bad because it looks so ridiculous. I want to talk about a few movies. If you have not seen the movie Split, do whatever you can to see that movie. The main actor in that movie does split personalities so well with the personalities that he does. It's amazing. Like, it's so weird because the from the trailers, I'm going to talk about it here just real quick. The trailers is about him kidnapping these 3 girls. This might sound messed up, but there's a point where he is acting so good or so well that you almost don't care about the girls in a weird way. You just want to see like what is coming next from that guy. Like, seriously, you're like, what can he do next as an actor or as a character in this movie, you know, to progress it even further. Look at all the health. This is awesome and easy. I'm not even gonna lie. Oh, and one last thing before I leave. If you're wondering what the bobbleheads are for, I don't know. You're supposed to break them all. And they're called Mr. Everywheres, I think. Something like that. It's just, I don't know. It's just like a little added, like, you know how games do. They always have added, like, weird crap. Like, psychostimulants, you take these pills, and you can see where all the items in the map are. So I'm going to drop something so you can see that real quick, and then I'll end this. So, to find items, I could just use that right there. And see where all the little arrows are lit up, so now I can see where things are. So there's an herb. There's something behind this rock, but I can't get it now because you're supposed to see a picture. And it says, I hit something, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, it's still very much Resident Evil-esque. Like, I have to get this type of thing to open this door, even though like I could probably break it down or whatever. So that could be lame to some people, but to me it's awesome. Puzzles, a lot of fun. Replay value, I think, is medium. I won't say it's a high replay value because it could be one of those games like you experience it and you're done. You know what I mean? Like, there's no NCs, things like that. You know, there's no need to go back to the story. Like, if you do it at the beginning where you unlock everything and you do everything the right way and look at all the case files and stuff like that, there's no real reason to go back except to play it on Madhouse mode, which I might attempt to do. I have beaten Bloodborne, like I said before. Oh yeah, here's one of those creatures. So I'm just going to kill the shit out of it. With this advanced gun, just blow its face off. There it goes. Goodbye. So that's probably easier than what you'll have to go through. This is a advanced gun, so it's a little bit easier to kill these enemies, I guess, than what would before. Oh, and if you're wondering, the psychostimulant does not last the whole game. It's a short period of time type thing, or whatever. Downstairs there's some more of those monsters, but I'm gonna go ahead and go in here, save it, and basically look forward to explaining this more on the podcast and talking to my brother. And I'm thinking that's going to be more spoiler ridden because I want to tell him how like it relates to certain horror movies and stuff like that. So if you have any questions or any further comment that you would like to ask or whatever, just let me know. So you have 2 saves. That was my total. So I did it in 10 hours and 15 minutes. That's pretty good on normal. Please don't hesitate to ask. Follow us on our Facebook page at the Ray Bros Nerd Show. Follow us on YouTube. So anytime we go live or add a video, it'll be shared to you that same day. So I hope you have a good